The fear of letting go. It's Zay G 33, and we about to get into this. I'm about to do a little bit of explaining on how the fear of letting go can be stopping you from getting to where it is that you would like to go. And there's many ways that we hold on to things and it'll stop us from propelling us from being propelled forward. Whether it's you could be in a job or a situation where you're holding on to that for the security, but you know that, you know, this doesn't put you in the path that you need to be on to go forward in life. A lot of times situations you could be around people or friends who are really not the best of friends for you. They're not good influences in your life. There's some changes that you've told yourself you may want to make. We just moved into a new year. You can have resolutions for the new year. You may want to quit smoking. You may want to quit drinking. You may want to start going to the gym. But the people that you're around, they're not going to allow you to make those changes. And they may not be consciously trying to stop you from making those changes, but their lifestyle could influence you to not make those changes. It's difficult to start a new, set of habits when all of the people that you're around is nothing but temptation for you to stay the way that you've been. And the fear of letting go of familiarity, the familiarity of having those friends that you may have known for 10 years, 15 years, since you were maybe born. This is the same group of people that you've been with, having to start from scratch. Having to go out there and look for new people who are on the path that you want to go on. The process of being alone during that time while you're looking for those new people, while you're looking for, people who are going to walk in that direction with you. The fear of letting go of that. And it stops us from going to where it is that we would like to go, where we're supposed to go. And I've experienced that many times in my life. I always say this. I say I'm finna dive. I'm finna jump off the cliff. I've had, just like letting go. You know how people do the bungee jumping. I'm just finna jump. I've took a lot of leaps of faith in my life. You know what I'm saying, to the point where it's like I don't have too much of a fear of letting go because I'm just able to trust. And the more you do that, the more you'll be able to align yourself with your own intuition. You won't have to listen to the voices of the people around you or whoever it is that's telling you what you should and shouldn't do. You begin to trust your own intuition the more you take leaps of faith, and you can find those patterns in your life. When you knew to take a leap of faith, you took that leap of faith, and it put you in the right place. Fear of letting go. And for some people, it may be you may want to be in a relationship with somebody. I was having a conversation with a young lady, man, and she was just telling me, she was like, the minute I feel like I'm catching feelings or I'm in too deep, I'm out of there. And I told her, you got a fear of letting go. You got a fear of being out of control. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are scared to let go and let the situation play out because they're so scared of what's going to happen. You tense up. People run from that. They don't want to be out of control. You know what I'm saying? And like, even another psychedelics kind of taught me about letting go, because when you're so used to being in control and you're doing something that's and you get to a point where you're out of control and you have to just surrender, like whatever is about to happen is just about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Then, there's a sense of freedom in that. But it's like there's things out there in the world that we're scared of, and sometimes you just gotta surrender, and whatever happens is gonna happen. But I'm gonna do what I need to do in this situation. You know, me personally, and I always gotta relate it back to myself and try to be vulnerable with y'all. But it's like I'm coming back around to, I feel like, who I was as a pure child before my mind was kind of like, I guess you could say, perverted by the world. You know what I'm saying? I used to have a pure, carefree mind. And then as you begin to grow up and we kind of get programmed and indoctrinated by our environment, it interfered with my creativity as I begin to kind of blend in with my surroundings. Like now I'm letting go of that roughness, like letting go of that, like the violence, you know what I'm saying? Because I think all people, whether they like to admit it or not, especially men, we have a fear of maybe losing, maybe because there's a sense of shame in that. And shame is one of the lowest frequencies. Like you don't want to be shamed, you don't want to feel less of a man. Like in their minds, I gotta just be rough all the time, so don't nobody do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? And if you've ever been in violent situations, it can kind of put something on you where you feel like you always got to be ready, always got to be ready. And that's something that I'm trying to let go of. Just, I was reading about Gandhi. Yeah, y'all know, y'all have heard me speak on brahmacharya and different types of the yoga thing. They say that, nonviolence is one of those things. And that's the thing. Like, I've been becoming very conscious of the thoughts that I've been thinking. And if I'm constantly thinking about low vibrational things, I'm going to attract low vibrational things into my life. So even though I'm positive about everything else in my life, that's one lingering thing that I've found is like, just like the violence. You know what I'm saying? The violence in my mind, just being hyper vigilant, always thinking about having to do something to somebody, or ooh, what if it goes like, you know what I'm saying? Like that just comes to things that have happened in my past. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, there was a fear of letting go of that. I've had conversations with people where they feel like they always got to respond to something, or no, they not about to make me look like this, or they ain't about to do me like that, or they ain't about to play in my face like this. And it's a fear. And it's just like, the more I get on a positive frequency, and I try, like I said, one other thing I was trying to do is smile more. You know what I'm saying? There's in the black community specifically, I think people have a fear of looking friendly just because they don't want to appear weak. But who cares if you quote unquote appear weak if you're not weak? If you know who you are deep down and you know you can handle yourself, then there's no need to appear like anything. You know what I'm saying? And it's really it all boils down to fear, which is also a low frequency. You know what I'm saying? And I believe when you're operating in love, when you're operating and you're moving in joy. I like to laugh a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're operating like that, you're gonna attract more good things to you. It's so funny. I want everybody to try this. Just go when you're out, smile more, say positive things to people. Just try to stay on the positive side of things. Don't walk around looking mad. Don't be, add a little more extroversion to you. Hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Smile, laugh, play around, and just see how much better you feel, and see and notice how the interactions you have with people change for the better. Because sometimes we don't realize that the energy that we're walking around in is projecting onto other people. So if we're walking around in a low vibrational attitude, we're worried about what are they thinking, what are they doing, are they talking about me? When you're moving around in that frequency, you may attract that, and you may not even notice it on your face and in your aura that you're moving around like that, and then you're not wondering why all these bad things are happening to you. So I always try to make sure I stay positive. I try to think positive things about people. Like I've been saying something in my head all the time lately. Like it's all love. It's all love. Like somebody could be mad about something. It's all love. I just say that in my head. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, when you elevate your mindset and you're moving up in frequency, you begin to understand other people because you've been there before. And I've been there before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been to the point where I was hating on people who were happy. Like, oh, why is he walking around smiling, looking like that, man? Oh, weird ass dude. You know what I'm saying? I used to operate like that. So I understand that mindset, but I was thinking like that because I was miserable. I was thinking like that because I didn't have what I wanted in life. You know, I like when you're in a state of lack and you're not in a state of abundance, you tend to hate everybody. You know what I'm saying? And we can see it going on in the world. People out here robbing and backstabbing their friends, because when you're in a state of lack, when you don't have what you quote unquote need or feel like you need, you know, you'll do anything to get those feelings, you know. So I understand people who think like that, and I always try to remind myself I've been there before. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes all those people need to see is the fact that you're not looking at them how they may think you're looking at them. You know what I'm saying? There's some people out there who are very insecure, whether you know it or not. And if you let them know that you look at them just like a regular person, like you don't feel like you're above them, because some people they're very intimidated by people who walk around with the high vibration and the high spirit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your light is so bright that it makes them feel like it's shining on them and showing everything that's wrong with them. You know, so darkness doesn't really like the light. So that's one thing that you're gonna have to understand also. You know, but there's back bringing it back around to the fear of letting go. You may have a fear of letting go of things that made you feel safe. Walking around with the tough exterior may make you feel safe, but the fear of letting go of that may be stopping you from attracting the things in life that you want. The fear of letting go of having control, you know what I'm saying, may be stopping you from the relationship that you may want. You know, the fear of letting go of what you're used to, the security of maybe a job or the security of your friends may be stopping you from moving forward to the thing that you say you want. And in my previous videos, one of them I always talked about sacrifice, and there are things that you're going to have to sacrifice to move on to the next level. That's all I got for today, man. It's Zay G 33.